In the last video, we spoke about how to style text and images in CSS by building a simple website. Today, we will talk about an important topic in CSS. First, we need to know that CSS has different layouts: the box model, Flexbox, and grid. Today, we will discover and start with the box model. First, I have an h1, a div, and a p element with a dummy text, and this is the website in general. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to my CSS file and start styling my div. I'm gonna say .box, and I'm gonna add for this div a width of 400 pixel, then a background color of white. So a pretty basic div. It has a 400 pixel width and a background color of white. Now let's start by defining a margin. And basically, a margin creates an empty space next to an element. I'm gonna write its definition right here inside a comment. And a comment in CSS is a text that's not rendered by your browser. So a margin creates an empty space next to an element. I'm gonna go to my div and I'm gonna add a margin, let's say 100 pixels. As you can see, it moved from here to here. But what exactly happened? So what happened exactly is that it will add 100 pixels of space on the top, 100 pixels of space on the right side, on the bottom, and on the left. So basically, all these four sides has a space of 100 pixel. Of course, we can go ahead and specify each one by themselves. So okay, say margin top, and it could have a space of 700 pixels. I could go ahead and say margin right, and this margin right could have a 100 pixel space. Now I'm gonna go to my file.html, and outside this div I'm gonna add a p element. I'm gonna say hello world. I'm gonna go ahead and add a margin bottom, and this margin bottom will have a 150 pixel of space. Now I'm gonna add a margin left, and this margin left will have 250 pixel space. As you can see, we have for the top a 75 pixel of space. For the right side we have a 100 pixel space, but it is not visible for us right now. But for the bottom we have a 150 pixel space. As you can see, the text is not close to my div because we have a 150 pixel space right here and it cannot transpass it. Also, we have a 250 pixel space on the left side. But all of this can be summed up in only one line. I'm gonna delete all of it. I'm gonna say margin 75 pixel, 100 pixel, 150 pixel, and 250 pixel. What this basically means is you will start with the top. This is for the top, this is for the right side, this is for the bottom, and this is for the left side. So this is the order that you need to follow. And if I go to my website, nothing will change. What if I specify only two values for the margin? Let's say I said 100 pixel, 150 pixel. What this means exactly? So when you add two values to a margin, like so, 100 pixel and 150 pixel, that means the 100 pixel right over here will be for the top and bottom, and the 150 pixel over here will be for the right and left. What if you add three values? 100 pixel, let's say 76 pixel, and I'm gonna say 120 pixel over here. I'm gonna refresh the page. Okay, what basically happened is that the 100 pixel is for the top side, the 76 pixel is for the right and left side, and the 120 pixel is for the bottom. Now let's go to the border. A border basically is adding a stroke or outline to an element. I'm gonna write its definition down here. So this is a border. It basically adds a stroke or an outline on an element. Let me fix this adding and add adds. I'm gonna go to my div and I'm gonna say something called border width. I'm gonna specify a value of 4 pixel. Next, I want to add a color to this border. I'm gonna say border color. This color will be red. Right now the border has a color of red and a width of 4 pixel. Now I need to add the style of this border. I'm gonna say border right here and say style. So border style, we have a bunch of values over here, but what I'm gonna go for is solid. So it would be a solid red border of 4 pixel width. Let's go ahead and see it. As you can see, we have our border. Of course, I took off all the margins, so we don't have any margin right now, but we have a 4 pixel border and it is a solid red border. But all of this could be simplified in only one line. I'm gonna say border, I'm gonna say 4 pixel solid red. So we always start with the width of the border, then the style of the border, then the color of the border. And as you can see, nothing changed As you remember in margin, we did margin left, margin right, and so on. We can do the same thing over here. We could say border left width, and the width will be, let's say, 5 pixel. Now I'm gonna say border left, let's say style. This style will be dashed. Now the border left color will be green. As you can see, only the left side will have a border because we specified that the left side, let me show you the code, the left side should only have a width of 5 pixel, a style of dashed, and a color of green. So basically we have it right over here. What I'm gonna do right now is that I'm gonna copy paste this. Instead of left, I'm gonna say right. So instead of a 5 pixel, I'm gonna have a 7 pixel. Instead of dash, it will be a double. So basically double means 2 strokes. And now instead of green, I will say red. And on the right side, we will have a double stroke with a color of red of 7 pixel width. Why? Because we set it right over here in CSS that the right border should have 7 pixel double and a red border. And I want you to keep in mind this, that if you don't mention the style like this, the border won't work. As you can see, there is no border, so the style is important. So I'm gonna Ctrl Z, and now if you don't add the color, it will add the default color of a border. Let's go ahead and see it, which is black. Same thing for the width. If you don't add the width, it will add the default value of a width. So let's go ahead and see it. I guess it's around 2 pixel, I don't know, but this is the default value of a width. Now let's go to paddings. Paddings basically creates white space inside the background. Unlike the margin, which adds space outside the background color, the padding does it inside. So a padding creates an empty space inside an element. So I'm gonna go to my div and I'm gonna say padding 100 pixel. Well, basically it got bigger, so the div element got even bigger. Why? Because it's add space inside the element. So it added a 100 pixel space on the top, as well as on the right side, the bottom, and the left. Of course, same as margins, we could specify each side by itself. I could say padding top could have 75 pixel. The padding right, let's say, could have 100 pixel of padding. Padding bottom could have, let's say, 150 also. And padding right, or left, excuse me, will have 250 pixel. Basically, the top will have 75 pixel of padding, the right side will have 100 pixel of padding, the bottom will have 150, and the left side will have 250. Of course, all of this could be summed up in one line. So I'm gonna say 75 pixel, 100 pixel, 150 pixel, 250 pixel. Again, this is the 75 pixel is for the top, this one is for the right side, this one is for the bottom, and this one is for the left side. And basically, nothing will change. And same as margins. If you add two values, 100 pixel, 200 pixel, that means you will get 100 pixel on the top and bottom and 200 pixel on the left and right side. Same as if you add a third value, let's say 34 pixel. As you can see, you will have on the left and right side 34 pixel, and on the top you'll have 100, and on the bottom you'll have 200. Now I'm gonna delete this. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say margin 100 pixel. Then I'm gonna say margin left, it will be 200 pixel. What do you think will happen right now? What happened exactly is that all the three sides, the top, right and bottom, have a 100 pixel of margin, and the left side will have only 200 pixel of margin. Why? Because basically this value will overwrite this value over here. We know that whenever we say margin 100 pixel, the four sides will have the same value. But because we added a margin left right over here, the left side will have a 200 pixel of margin. Same for the border and same for the padding. I'm gonna do it for the borders. Let's say I said border will be 5 pixels solid red, and the border left, let's say, will have 6 pixels solid green. What do you think will happen right now? Of course, all the three borders will be red, except for the left side, which will be a 6 pixel solid green border. Now I'm gonna try with the padding, so I'm gonna say padding 100 pixel. I'm gonna say right now padding left, let's say 50 pixel. Of course, the top, right and bottom will have a 100 pixel of padding, but the left side will have a 50 pixel of padding. Now I've added margin and padding of 100 pixel and a border of 5 pixels solid red. Let's go ahead and see our element. There it is. But as you remember, my div is of 400 pixel, right? Do you think right now it's still 400 pixel? Well, basically not. Let me right click and hit on inspect. As you can see, the blue color represents the width of my div, which is 400 pixel. But the other colors, like the green color, represents the padding. The orange color represents the border, and the semi-orange or the dark orange one represents the margin. So basically, this element, all of it, doesn't have a width of 400 pixel. So if I want to know the total width of this element, all I need to do is add the 400 pixel of my width plus the 100 pixel of my margin plus the 100 pixel of my padding plus the 5 pixel of my border, and we should get 605 pixel. So this is the total width of this element. Alright, this is it on the box model in CSS. To recap, we know that margins add space outside the background, while padding adds space inside the background, and border basically adds an outline to the element. I hope you enjoyed this video and got some value from it. Make sure to subscribe and follow me along in this CSS tutorial. But maybe you are looking a career in the front-end development and want to know more about it. Make sure to check out this detailed video about front-end development, or go ahead and check out the evolution of the web from Web 1 to Web 3.